From the headlines that move us
to the plays on the field and the people making a difference.
It's news, sports, and stories that keep our community alive.
This is the Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
I'm Christopher Ingram.
And I'm Sarina Fazan. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thanksgiving edition.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. On the record first, so much to be thankful for, Christopher, including you, my friend.
And myself, you.
Oh,
You're wonderful.
thank you.
I'm just so thrilled to have you here, and I just love doing the show with you.
Me too, and we have so much going on in the show, and we're going to talk about Thanksgiving, of course, but we have a lot of fun topics to talk about today.
We do. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving, what we're thankful for. Thanksgiving, what it's like dating during the holidays. Busch Gardens is in a little bit of trouble with the federal government. We're going to hit on that.
I know, that was so surprising, and of course, we have to touch on shopping.
Shopping. Are you going to go shop? We'll get to that. All right, shopping. And we've got an exciting activity that's going on in Tampa Bay. And, of course, football. We'll be talking a little bit about football. You got some predictions for us?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, let's start with, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Well, you know, and honestly, in all sincerity, you know, we just started our new show, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity. And isn't it wonderful, and I would love for people to comment on this, when you find that chemistry with somebody, you know, in a workplace environment,
Absolutely.
a personal environment, right? But I am so thankful for so many things, you know, health being so important, my family, my friends, and just enjoying every moment.
Enjoying every moment.
Yeah.
Well, that's about what, I mean, you're living large if you're enjoying every moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm thankful for my sobriety. As you know, I quit drinking this year, and I feel so much better, healthy, mentally, physically, everything. Thankful I got my daughter Mia back in my life.
Yes.
A lot of things. This business here that I bought earlier this summer, you and this show, our beautiful logo.
Yes.
There's so many things to be thankful for. And you know, I think what's important also when you're thinking about the things that you're thankful for, thinking about other people that might not have so much to be thankful for. And I think that's an important part that people need to think about and say a prayer for those people.
Absolutely. And you know, Christopher, you don't mind me asking, you know, I think it's so commendable that you're so open about your journey and your life. And when you talk about your sobriety but hitting the holidays on a serious note, for the people that are maybe just walking this path, do you have some words of advice for them? Because it's, you know, holidays oftentimes can be about the libations, and, you know, the cocktails and the parties.
They
and
are.
all that.
And people feel awkward, like they maybe don't want to admit that they have a problem or that they've quit drinking or what have you. I mean, I think everybody's different. I can say for me, if I were going to a Thanksgiving festivity tomorrow, dinner, and there was going to be drinking there, I would, first of all, let's say if I wasn't so open about it, I was just keeping it to myself. If you're that person, just drink maybe a club soda with lime, or you can get non-alcoholic beer that are legitimately 0.0% alcohol. They actually taste pretty good.
I know, I've had them. I mean, I think they are pretty tasty.
They're not from the days of yore where, you know, I remember my dad having them once in a while in the 80s, and he'd let me drink it, and they didn't really taste that good. But they're pretty good. You could also drink things that look and taste like wine, but that aren't alcoholic. They actually also make non-alcoholic wines and some spirits even. But, you know, I think if you're doing that, you got to be careful because, you know, it might help you as a crutch tomorrow or whatever day that you're, you know, around the people that are doing a lot of drinking. But at the end of the day, it's a mental thing. The addictive part of alcohol, you know, does not last that long. And I think that you have to be careful about, you know, setting yourself up as that's a crutch, and then you get used to it, and then maybe you slip and you start drinking the real stuff again. But you know, really for me, Sarina, I think the most important thing is just to be honest with people about it. It really shouldn't have the stigmatism of being, you know, some sort of horrible thing that we have to shut into the closet. We need to be more open about it. A lot like, you know, we had Tiffany Newton here last week, and she talked about being a domestic violence survivor, and you know that she's so open about that. I think it's important that we really take on these issues head on, so that people don't feel like they have to shut it into a closet.
And honestly, it's thanks to people like you and Tiffany for speaking out. You know, it gives other people courage. But I really appreciate when you mentioned too, and we hope that everybody can get there, right? But for the people that can't get there, sometimes there is the pressure of having a cocktail. So it is nice to, you know, just, you know, sparkling water or sparkling soda, put a lime in it,
Just
you know.
something,
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying in AA, they say, you know, a lot of people who have an alcohol problem, one is too many and 100 isn't enough.
Oh,
And so you really are going down a fine slope if you say, well, I'm going to go to Thanksgiving tomorrow and I'm only going to have one or two. But for people who are alcoholics, it's really hard to stop at one or two. And so you're really, I think if you recognize you have a problem, you're better off if you just say, cutting it off, I'm not having it.
Yeah, and I hope, I hope when I say to alleviate some pressure, maybe that was the wrong thing for me to say. But
not at all.
Because I've had friends too, that it's just, because then other people can pressure them, and maybe not even on purpose, but you're just in that environment.
Right. Oh, come on, have a drink.
Yeah, right.
That's why I think it's important that you're honest about it. You tell people, hey, I'm trying to stop drinking, so please don't encourage me. And I think most of the time people are going to be respectful of that.
I think so too. I mean, because at the core, people are kind.
Yeah.
We hope anyway.
We hope.
we hope.
We're going to put our holiday spirit hat on today, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanksgiving, the day after Black Friday. Are you a big shopper? I know you're a big shopper.
Okay, well, this is why though, all right? For years in traditional TV, for years, I was always the reporter in the field. I was either in-field anchoring or in-field reporting on Black Friday.
Like a Best Buy or whatever at the mall?
Yeah, Best Buy, like spending the night over there or at the mall. I'd have to go to all these places. I worked like 12-hour shifts. And so I said, one of these days, I am going to be one of those crazy people. I don't mean to say you're crazy.
They're
but
crazy.
one of those crazy people
They're crazy.
in line for Cinnabon.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Like first thing on Friday morning?
Well, I have to say, I don't go that crazy.
You're a sleeper.
I'm a sleeper a little bit because, enjoying Thanksgiving, I want watching football, all that stuff. But I really do like to partake in Black Friday shopping.
So what are your plans tomorrow or Friday?
Well, I think I'd like to start at the mall. Thank you for asking.
Which mall? International Mall?
International. I like it that it's nice and bright. And then I would like to go to Hyde Park because, you and I both live in South Tampa. So those are the two locations. Like, I don't want to go to Best Buy and hit all that.
Right.
No, I don't mean
You're not going to be at 3 o'clock in the morning at International Mall?
I would like, so those are my plans.
Okay, are you shopping for yourself? Are you shopping for others?
What's
on your list?
I'm a gift giver. I love.
You're a gift yourself.
Oh my gosh, she's making me blush. No, I love to give gifts. I remember when Sammy was little, we would start out, my daughter, we would start out at Macy's so she could pick out her Christmas. That was when we went to West Shore and International, that we could pick out her holiday dress.
Okay.
And that was always the first
big deal.
stop. Yes, always the first stop. Now, will you be shopping?
No.
No?
No, absolutely not. No, I hate shopping.
You do?
Yeah, I really don't enjoy shopping.
Like,
if I have to get something and I have to go to the mall, and I do like to try things on if I'm buying clothes as opposed to buying it online and then having to send it back. I hate dealing with that. But I'll go, I know exactly what I want. I'm in and out of there in 30 minutes, and hopefully I don't have to go back to the mall for another year.
So would you prefer then to shop online?
No, I don't. I actually prefer to try things on.
Try things on. You just said that. I'm sorry.
Just be quickly about it. Yeah, I don't really like.
Yeah.
I hate the mall.
Yeah.
I really hate the mall.
Really,
and
just so the whole concept of shopping is not.
Yeah, the whole concept of it. I mean, I like to give gifts, but my girls, I mean, Mia is in my life. The other two, not so much. So I don't really know what they like. I have in the last 5 years just given them money, which is kind of a thoughtless gift. But if you don't know what they like, I think it's better than buying them just some crap just to hand them something. But I do like to give gifts, but I'll probably write checks this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But Sammy, my daughter, said to me that what she needs the most right now is money for college. And so even though she wants
She's
gifts,
money for activities at college. We know what those are.
Exactly. But there is something though that's throwing a crutch, or English is my fifth language, so I get all the sayings confused, into my shopping plans. Can I tell you what it is?
Okay,
it's
what?
going, oh my gosh, the Eagles and the Bears are playing on Black Friday, right? Isn't it the Eagles and the Bears?
Yeah.
Caleb Williams,
Be a good
Jalen
game.
Hurts. So that's at 3 o'clock. Are you kidding me?
Well, maybe you should get up at 4 a.m. and be out there with all the whack jobs when the stores open at 6.
And maybe take a break, take like my lunch break, and enjoy it like at a restaurant or something, and watch part of the game, because gosh, I mean, that really does throw a crutch
You go
into
to
the whole
Capitol
thing.
Grill,
There
have
I
a
go.
nice lunch, a nice couple of drinks, $500 later. Yeah.
But that could be a pit stop, right? What are those places?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right, so Black Friday, that's going on. Just, hey, everybody, just be careful out there. And no TV is worth dying for. So if you're at Walmart fighting some idiot over a television, just do a brake check and be like, this is not worth it.
And the parking, honestly, too.
Oh my
like
gosh.
the people that go crazy over the parking.
Yeah.
You know, you have to really put on your patience, hat
Yeah,
or
just
whatever.
chill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be there tomorrow. It's not
Right.
that big a deal.
Right. Right.
Okay, so the whole holiday thing brings up, we like to talk about dating on the show, and dating during the holidays. Now, you've been with your significant other, you and he have been together for about 4 years, so you
Yes.
haven't had to deal with that. But prior to that, did you ever have like holiday dating blues
You
or
know,
single blues?
the holidays are wonderful, right? The holidays can be wonderful, but it's not even just dating. Like, sadly, if someone loses, a
Family
spouse,
member,
a family member, I have a dear friend going through that right now. It could bring on a lot of depression. And then, you've been very open about your kids too. And sometimes, you and I both, we're not with our original spouses,
Right.
and I think I feel like most people, I think you and I both included, of course, we don't want to take our kids out of that type of environment, but
Right.
sometimes if it's not a healthy,
Situation.
relation, right? And my ex-husband is just a class act. I feel it's just that we just grew apart, right? But it's some. I wish I was in a situation where the families could meld better,
Yeah.
And so there's all of those type of issues too.
Yeah, things that you were hopeful for that might not be actually transpiring. Yeah, I've been, divorced for 5.5 years, and there have been years where I've been dating someone seriously, and others that I'm not, presently not. But I'm cool, like, with the holidays, being alone. Actually, because Mia is back in my life, one of my daughters, I got really excited about putting up Christmas trees and, decorating for the house and stuff, which I haven't done in about 3 years. And my cousin, whom I haven't seen for like 10 years, she's here in town from Chicago visiting. My cousin Jessica. Shout out to Jessica.
Yes,
she's here in the studio. Hey,
and
Jess.
she looks just like you. By the way, you guys look so much alike.
That's funny. So yeah, no, it's fine for me. But I know a lot of people do, have anxiety and suffer from depression, thinking about the holidays or going to a party by themselves, and maybe they end up staying home because they don't want to go by themselves, that kind of thing. But again, everybody's different. But just think about people. I think that's what's important. Just think about people.
I do too, and I would say to people out there, like, if you are feeling lonely or sad, listen, you will be so surprised at how many people you have out there in the world that would be willing to give you a helping hand, or just, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid
That's
to.
the key right there.
It is. Just
Ask
call
or admit
somebody,
it,
ask
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just what you were talking about earlier too, being honest.
Yeah, just be honest about it.
Because there are more people that would be willing to help you than definitely, I would hope, like, turn their back.
But everybody, and it's not that people aren't interested or concerned about you. It's just we all get caught up in our own world, our own lives sometimes. You don't think about that person, but if that person reaches out and says, hey, like, I'm kind of depressed, or I'm lonely, or, I don't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving. Like, invite yourself. If they're a really good friend, they're going to be like, come on over.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes, honestly, as you said, we do get so caught up in our own world sometimes. Right. Sometimes we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
So we don't know because people can be very good too at covering
disguising
up,
it, absolutely.
And then if it gets to that point, please come forward,
Yeah, just let people know. They'll help you out.
Absolutely.
Okay, what do you want to talk about next? Football?
Well, I already told you about the crutch one I'm going to do on Friday, but yes, football, this is so fantastic. That's what I do love about
Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, it's football.
Great games. We got great games. We've got Packers at the Lions. That's going to be a good game. We've got the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And let's see, the last game is the Bengals at the Ravens. Do you have any thoughts on any of those games?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. So honestly, there's been a lot of talk about the Chiefs and the Cowboys. I always talk about Dak Prescott, the highest paid quarterback, in the NFL. No, with the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys, yeah.
Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. And honestly,
Joe Burrow's at the Bengals.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's with the Bengals, which I definitely want to talk about him too. I love Patrick Mahomes, though, right? And I've always wondered, no offense, Dak Prescott, believe me, I know there's only less than 2% of athletes in the world that are pro athletes, so I cannot be you. But we've talked about this, like, he became the highest paid quarterback because of situation, right? Because of situation, there were not enough quarterbacks available. So until that last game against the Eagles, I'm like, where is Dak Prescott?
Right.
It's,
all of a sudden, he's
bam.
there.
So now,
lighting it up.
Lighting it up. And so now they're saying that the Chiefs-Cowboys game is they're predicting that it's going to be it's going to be just as watched as the high-end playoff game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's going to be
crazy.
interesting.
I think that's the 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, that's 4 o'clock
Yeah.
game. And of course, I love Dan Campbell and the Lions.
Okay. You have any good predictions on those games? Lions, Packers. I'm going to take the Packers.
You are? Okay, I'm going to take the Lions.
Okay.
all right.
Chiefs and the Cowboys.
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Chiefs, me too.
You too? Okay.
Yeah. Bengals and the Ravens.
Okay, so this is really interesting. All right. Okay. So Lamar Jackson, who I just love with the Ravens, has not been able to play
Right.
because of
Injury.
his toe, but he's coming back. I also have a toe injury because I was dancing, and we can get into my.
You want to
toe
show
injury.
it? We can
Like it's,
put your foot up.
I'm just wearing these high heels just for the show, because But anyway, I don't think people want to hear about my toe. But that being said, it's going to be so interesting to see him. And then of course we have Joe Burrows with the Bengals.
Right.
And even though the Bengals don't have a high shot at the playoffs,
Not
but
so much.
people wonder sometimes, should he play with the threat of getting injured again? But he just came out and said, hey, if I can play,
Give me a shot.
I'm going to play.
Okay, so did you say Bengals, Ravens? Who are you picking on that?
I'm
going to pick the Ravens.
Yeah, I've got to go with the Ravens too. With the Bengals, I have to say, and I may have mentioned this before, people have said my Sammy, they compare her to the female Joe Burrows, which is quite a compliment.
Right?
I mean, Joe Burrows, you've seen what he looks like, right?
You're a mess. You are a mess. Okay, then we have the Friday game, which is the Bears and the Eagles. Mm-hmm. That's going to be 8-2 Bears.
Gosh,
the Eagles, I mean, they lost last week, but they're still a pretty strong contender. They're going to be in the playoffs too.
One of the reasons why my foot is injured is I was dancing to, I want to dance with somebody, but also the Super Bowl shuffle.
You were doing the Super Bowl shuffle?
Yes, because
this week.
When I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, I told you, and they call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. That was me. And so with the Bears, I'm very excited about the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears.
The Bears.
Remember that Ditka fake thing, on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bears.
Yeah, me too.
You are too?
Even though, I mean, Jalen Hurts. I did this thing that's so crazy, right? But I went to ChatGPT, the advanced version, and because I love football, as you know, and I said, out of all the 32 quarterbacks out there, who aligns the most with me and my values?
Really?
And it came back.
No kidding.
As Jalen Hurts.
And AI knows what your values are?
Well, I think, it's gotten to know my personality.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by AI.
That's scary.
We need to do a show
just
solely
a show
on
on
that.
AI.
But Jalen Hurts, his number's number one. I believe I love numbers. My birthday is on the 1st, April Fool's Day. But yeah, he really stood up for a cause, several things, and I love leaders that if you're the leader, then you take responsibility. And apparently, I don't know all the stats, but I thought that was really interesting. So
he's willing to take it on. Okay, so you're picking for that game.
Yeah, gosh, I don't know what to do. What do you think I should do, Christopher? You want me to?
I can decide for you.
I have to choose one. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go with the Bears.
Bears.
Because
okay.
of
Bears
my
and the
nephew
Bears.
Adam too. He lives there.
All right, and then we've got the Cardinals at the Bucks. That's at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Bucks had a struggle of a game against LA last week. The Cardinals, hopefully they can put it on them. But what are you thinking? I'm going to go with the Bucks on this one. Home field advantage. I think the Bucks are ready for a little bit of a rebound.
Absolutely, but I'm hoping Baker can play. They say after I know it was the sprain. It was a sprain, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a sprain to his non-throwing arm, and they said it was optimistic, but injuries, I don't know. I mean, he looked like he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he did look like he was in a lot of pain.
But Jacoby Brissett, of course, is playing for the Cardinals because Kyler Murray's out too. So,
we need to get you on SportsCenter.
I know. But I'm going to that game, by the way.
Oh, you are?
But
wait.
No.
No. Where's my ticket?
I know. I'm so sorry.
We have you on air saying that you're going to give me tickets and we're going to go to the Bucks game together. And now you're going without me?
I was given this ticket by Christopher Hatton.
How many did he give you?
He gave us
two.
two.
Hello, 1, 2. I don't care about Ted. Like, what's up? Did you promise Ted tickets?
Well, this is his best friend that he went to high school with, though. So he actually got the ticket.
Okay.
So it wasn't me getting the ticket.
All right. We'll forgive you.
But I owe you a game.
Okay.
I owe
All
you a
right.
game.
So you're taking the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Saints and the Dolphins. As you know, I'm a Dolphins fan,
Yes.
a long-suffering Dolphins fan. I think Miami's due for another win. Actually, Joe Gruden said earlier this week he thinks Miami's going to win 4 or 5 games in a row.
Really?
Their schedule the next few weeks is pretty easy. And he thinks that they actually could be a wild card contender for the playoffs, which I think would be a miracle given their start when they were like 6-1.
Well, for you,
or 1-6 rather.
Yeah, but isn't that interesting though? If they do really well, you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. But they always choke in December, so there's no hope for them. All right, and then lastly, we're covering all the Florida teams here today. The Jaguars and the Titans. The Jaguars are looking pretty good, and the Titans really suck. So you got to go with the Jags on that one.
You definitely do. I feel so bad for the Titans. It's
They won one game.
Them
and the Jets.
Oh my gosh, I do feel so.
That's painful.
Yeah, that is painful.
Okay, so we got our predictions. Next week, I think whoever has the better record for the predictions from this week, then the loser owes that person a ticket to a football game.
Oh, okay.
But you already owe me one, so if you lose, you'll owe me 2 tickets. That way I can bring a date.
I know. Oh yes, a lucky lady friend.
Yeah, we'll see. Right? I had one in mind, but all right, we'll talk about that later.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're not ready to go on?
No, but we're not talking about this on air.
So we're not ready to go on the record.
We're not
with that
ready to
yet.
go on the record with that. Okay, Busch Gardens is in a little bit of trouble.
Whew.
They have, I guess, like some sort of complaint, Department of Justice complaint that they're violating the ADA by having these ban on certain types of walkers. Do you remember what they're called? Like
I think it's a rollator.
Rollator, yeah.
Rollator.
Which is like a walker, right? That has a seat.
It has a seat, and it's not motorized.
Not motorized,
And so, it's a device that it's for people who can walk, but they get extremely tired.
Right.
They might have something happening to them.
My dad used to have one of those.
Wow. So how are you feeling about that? What do you think?
I just wonder why are they banning these?
Yeah.
And some people have alleged that they're doing it so that they can say, nope, you can't bring that in. Oh, but look, you can rent a scooter from us for $75 for the day, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm picking the numbers, but there's that allegation. And then also, like, why are they doing this? And from the stories that I read, Busch Gardens didn't really have any type of response to it.
Well, just the investigation has just begun, right? So it'll be interesting to see, because you want to make the environment as pleasant for as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
So
have you been to Busch Gardens lately?
I have not been there lately.
I have been twice in the last month and a half. I went to the Halloween thing that they do for the first time. I've been in Tampa for 22 years, never been to Halloween at Busch Gardens before. It sucked. I thought it really sucked.
Wow.
Like Walmart is scarier than Halloween.
No way, really.
And then I went last weekend, I think, on Friday night, and it was the first night of Christmas Town. The place was dead. I mean, we were riding roller coasters right after another. Like didn't have to wait in line more than 5 minutes for anything.
That's so surprising.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And the last 2 or 3 times that I've been, I've thought that the customer service experience has been poor. I thought the park is dirty. Maintenance seems to be lacking. Like, I think they're deferring a lot of maintenance. And a lot of the roller coasters, they're not running 2 cars. They're only running 1 set of cars at a time, which that could be that one's broken down, or I think also it requires more labor. And I do think that they have a real labor problem at Busch Gardens, which is probably because they don't pay people very well. But yeah, I'm very disappointed in Busch Gardens of late.
Well, here's what I've heard. I've heard too that so the prices have gone up. Going to Busch Gardens.
Almost $150 a day now for a single ticket.
Isn't that something? And so the complaints or the criticisms that have come out are that the experience, as you've described it, is not as enjoyable, but yet the prices are high. So shouldn't they be at the caliber of Disney and some of the other ones? And also, ever since COVID, they have not been able to recover to get the employees in. But on the optimistic side,
Sarina, ever the optimist. We love you.
Glass half full. The roller coasters, though, there's more roller coasters there. I hear what you're saying, though. I have heard, too, that oftentimes a couple of them could be down. But like Gwazi and some of those attract people from
All over the place,
all
yeah.
over the world.
Yeah, the
right?
new one, the new
Yeah.
Gwazi is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope that Busch Gardens, there's so much potential there,
Yeah.
right? There's so much potential that hopefully some of these issues or these criticisms can be, addressed, and we see improvements.
Let's hope so, because it really is. It's a gem for Tampa, and it does bring tourists into the community. But I just, when I was there last Friday, I was thinking to myself, there's no way they can sustain operating if on a Friday night it was beautiful weather and there was hardly anybody there.
See, and that is depressing too, because I remember, and you remember this with your girls. Like I remember taking
them, yeah.
Sammy there all
Yeah.
the time for a couple of hours a day.
Yeah,
It
you
was such
got
a
an annual
great-
pass. You just come and go
Yes.
as you please. Yeah, it's cool.
So hopefully,
Okay, moving on. I think our last topic that we want to talk about here today is the Winter Village. Something to do for Thanksgiving, or the day after Thanksgiving, I guess I should say, is the Winter Village at Curtis Dixon Park.
and you know what's so exciting about it, Christopher? It goes until January the 4th, and I have to say it's Vinnick's team, that helps put this
Put it
on.
on, yeah.
And
They
it
do
is
everything top notch.
Yeah, everything top notch. It's such a wonderful, wonderful experience. 10 years now. It's 10 years strong, so it's the 10th year. So they have a lot of extras this year, that people can enjoy. They have an ice skating ring. Now, for things like I believe the ice skating ring, there's a cost, but there's a lot of free things for families
Right.
to do as well.
And there's
So
food to eat and shopping, right? Outdoor merchants and that kind of thing. Have you ever been down there?
I have been
Yeah.
down there, and I love seeing all the people.
Yeah.
It's so lively. Everybody's in a great mood.
Right.
The buildings surrounding,
All lit up.
all lit up.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And after hearing what you said about Busch Gardens and maybe
Christmas Town.
disappointing,
Yeah.
that it's nice that here's another alternative.
Yeah,
maybe.
Christmas Town wasn't all that. I didn't think either. But yeah, so this is, and it's free.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things you have to pay for, but you can
Right.
go down there and walk around and have a good time for free. That's cool.
Yeah,
We like
absolutely.
free.
We love free. We
All
love
right.
free. We absolutely love free.
Well, I, once again, am so thankful that you are here doing this show with me. You are fantastic, and I couldn't be happier, and I'm very thankful for you.
I am so thankful for you too. You are a gift.
Every story shared,
Adds another heartbeat to Tampa Bay.
from courage to community.
We are so proud to tell the stories that keep our neighborhood strong.
Thanks for watching The Heartbeat of Tampa Bay. Have a happy Thanksgiving weekend.